Zagers Pool and Spa. Getting away is not that hard. Vacation in your own backyard.
Hi, I'm Ryan from Zagers Pool Spa. Today we're going to talk about the Simple Clean Cyclone Junior Automatic Vac. This is a great vacuum for the above ground pool, and this cleaner will clean up to around 6 foot deep ends, preferably like bowled out type stuff, and then also it'll run up to 32 feet length of a pool. So we'll kind of get down into the guts of it, show you how it works and the expectations and everything that you want to do with it. Alright, so the vacuum head, what there is to it, when it comes in the box, there's a lot of this stuff all disassembled. What you have down here is this is the foot pad. This is what actually runs around on the bottom of the pool, and the debris kind of sucks from the sides as this runs around. It loosens it and it sucks it right up the throat here. And there's a cam in there that just goes back and forth, and you'll kind of hear this knocking sound as it's in the pool. And once we get to that part, you'll be able to hear that. But what you need to do is your silver bar goes on top, and it's got an automatic float there that kind of helps keep it upright in the pool. And those are just clipped in at the top and at the bottom. And they got a bump in there, they just clip in. Same thing at the bottom. So the black one clips in the bottom. And this has a float ball, so it helps keep the vacuum floating up, so it's not getting hung up on anything, and that just locks right into the top there. So it's pretty easy to put together. And then also your drive part, this helps keep the disc laying down on the bottom of the pool. A couple of things that you need to look at that you want to do just from a maintenance standpoint. When you have your hose and you're not using this, it's important that you have your hose laid out straight. On a nice snowy day like today, if you do like what I got here, this hose is all rolled up, and when you roll it all up like this, what happens is the hose will get a memory to it. So once this gets that memory to it, what it'll do, you'll throw it all in there, turn it on, and it'll sit there and spin in a small little circle. And you'll say, what in the world has happened to me here? Why is it not working? So that hose needs to be nice and straight so it doesn't have a memory. And that's what gives it its ability to run around the pool and do a great job. So a couple of things you want to do from measuring the pool itself. How you do that is you take your vacuum head, and you can set it up on the top as best you can. You connect your vacuum hose onto there, and they're in 3 foot sections. So you just run around and put them in. And what you want to do is measure the pool, your length on the hose as to how much you want to put in there. You'll go around, and I might lose you a little bit, but you're going to have the vacuum head on one side, and you're going to take this hose and run it across the pool straight. And so when you get it across there, you're going to have two extra sections of hose outside of the pool. So that's how you know what length to make your vacuum hose or your vacuum head, because it will run around. If you have a smaller pool, you put all the hose on it, what's going to happen is it will have a hard time. It'll just kind of get caught up on itself because of all the hose and everything that's there. So you want to make sure you only have 2 extra sections sticking beyond the edge of the pool, and that's how you get your measurement right. So once you have that, what you're going to do is come over, and sometimes you need to have your extra section of hose on there. So there's a small piece in there. And what you're going to do, depending on the pool, this comes with it. This is called an automatic flow valve. And what this does is if there's too much pressure or too much suction, this opens up and allows water to go through just so it runs at the right speed. Most of the time, it'll be closed, and a lot of times, people won't even use it. It's up to you. In this particular instance, because of the power of the pump, we actually are not going to use that. But if you did, you would put it in place towards the end of the hose. You'd suck that down on there, and then you put your other end on, and then you would put your vacuum plate on. That's how you would run this if you're running it on something that's got a 1 horsepower pump or larger. And when you're running a vacuum, you want to make sure that if you have a 2-speed pump, you're running it on high speed because it needs to have that volume of water to be able to run. So what we're going to do is now, once we have all that all connected, what we're going to do is we're actually going to get it in the pool and get it running. Okay, now we're going to get it hooked up and running. Now that we got the vacuum all in the pool, this goes just like your normal vacuum would do. What you're going to do is just hold your hand down in front of the return and push all the water or all the air through. It'll bubble up just like it always would. And you just let that happen. And once it settles back down, or starts to settle down like that, now all the air is out of it. And so now we're ready to hook it up. Just take your, depends on what style pool you have, but you just hold your back plate on in this particular pool. You're going to come around, stick it on the top, and it will start running around the pool. Now, if you had a doughboy pool, on the doughboys you would attach right down into the front of the skimmer on the bottom, just like you normally would, and you would use that back adapter to plug right into there. So that's what you do if you're a doughboy. And with our shark line style pools, you go right over like we did here. So if you hear the kind of the clicking that it does, it kind of clicks around, it runs around the bottom of the pool. So every time what happens is while the suction's going, that cam slaps back and forth, and that's what's making it go. And if you see the jiggling going on around here, that's a great thing. That's what it's supposed to be doing. A couple of things about the pool, or about the cleaner, you got to remember. If it's not jiggling and not moving, it's probably not the vacuum's fault that it's doing that. You have a filtration issue. Either your basket is full, so you need to take your basket out, clean your basket up, check the basket on the skimmer, and also on the pump. Make sure that both of those are clean. If they're both clean and it's still not running, if you have the ability to backwash your filter, you want to backwash. Or if you don't, then you need to take it apart, spray off your cartridge or DE filter. And if you do that, you can refer back to one of our other videos about how to do that. And then put it back in and it'll take off and run great. So this is how a proper operating vacuum would look. The other piece that you want to remember is this is an automatic vac. It runs on a random pattern. It'll move around the pool, it'll bounce all over the place, and it's going to clean. You got to look at it as it'll clean about 80% of the pool over the course of time. You got to give it 6 to 8 hours. It'll run around, and you're going to have these little slivers here and there that it doesn't pick up, and that's okay. Because once you take this thing out, jump in the pool and start playing around, the little bit of slivers here and there that it doesn't get, it'll go right up into the water and go away, and you won't see it anymore. So these are maintenance vac. They're not a vacuum that you would buy to come spring and try to clean up a big mess or something like that when your cover fell in the pool or something along those lines. This is definitely just a maintenance vacuum, and you just let it go and do its thing. If you do that, you'll love it. It takes a ton of time out of maintaining the pool. Makes the pool a lot more fun and enjoyable. So we have specials on these quite often. Stop by our Facebook page or our website and see if we have any specials on them. But thanks for watching, and look forward to seeing you on future episodes.
Zagers Pool and Spa. Getting away is not that hard. Vacation in your own